The Vedic people probably entered India about 1500 BC from the region that today is Iran. The word Vedic describes the religion of these people, and the name comes from their collections of sacred texts known as the Vedas. The texts date back from about the 15th to the 5th century BC and were used for sacrificial rites, which were the main feature of the religion. There was a ritual which took place at an altar where food, also sometimes animals, were sacrificed. The Vedas contain recitations and chants to be used at these ceremonies. Later, prose was added called Brahmanas, which explained how the texts were to be used in the ceremonies. They also tell of the origin and the importance of the sacrificial rites themselves. The Sulbha Sutras are appendices to the Vedas, which give rules for constructing altars. If the ritual sacrifice was to be successful, then the altar had to conform to very precise measurements. The people made sacrifices to their gods so that the gods might be pleased and give the people plenty food, good fortune, good health, long life, and lots of other material benefits. And we not only want these benefits now, it was the olden times also people sought the gods for all these very benefits. For the gods to be pleased, everything had to be carried out with a very precise formula. So mathematical accuracy was seen to be of utmost importance. We should also note that there were two types of sacrificial rites, one being a large public gathering, while the other was a small family affair. Different types of altars were necessary for the two different types of ceremony. All that is known of Vedic mathematics is contained in the Sulbha Sutra. This in itself gives us a problem, for we do not know if these people undertook mathematical investigations for their own sake, as, for example, the ancient Greeks did, or whether they only studied mathematics to solve problems necessary for their religious rites. Some historians have argued that mathematics, in particular geometry, must also have existed to support astronomical work being undertaken around the same period. Certainly, the Sulbha Sutras do not contain any proofs of the rules which they describe. Some of the rules, such as the method of constructing a square of area equal to a given rectangle, are exact. Others, such as constructing a square of area equal to that of a given circle, are approximations. We shall look at both the type that we have just described in further study. The Sulbha Sutra were written by a scribe, although he was not the type of scribe who merely makes a copy of an existing document, but the one who put in considerable content, and all that mathematical results may have been due to these scribes. We know nothing of the men who wrote the Sulbha Sutras other than their names and a rough indication of the period in which they lived. Like many Indian mathematicians, our only knowledge of them is their writings. The most important of these documents are the Bodhayana Sulbha Sutra, which was written in about 800 BC, the Apastamba Sulbha Sutra, which was written in 600 BC. Historians of mathematics have also studied and written about other Sulbha Sutras. They are the lesser ones. The lesser importance, the ones such as the Manava Sulbha Sutra, which was written in about 750 BC, the Katyayana Sulbha Sutra, which was written in about the 200 BC. The Sulbha Sutra, or ancient Indian geometry, principally consists of instructions for building fire altars which are intrinsically linked to Vedic ceremonies in India. In common usage, the words Sulbha and Raju in Sanskrit mean the same thing, a cord or a rope. The etymological significance of the name Sulbha is measuring, or the act of measuring, as it is derived from the root that is shulb, which means to measure. The Sulbha Sutra are organized in a way that begins with the most basic geometric and arithmetic constructions, such as a prachi, that is east-west lines, and progresses to the specifics of how to make chitti, and most crucially, chittis with complex structures. All extant Sulbha Sutra belong to the Yajurveda. Sulbha Sutra mentions the importance of making accurate measurements for the construction of chittis. According to the Bodhayana Sulbha Sutra, even a slight variation in the measurement can lead to an adverse effect on the purpose of the sacrifice. There are exactly the right geometrical constructions to the precise degree of accuracy necessary for the Shubhkaras to build the chittis. 2 points particularly stand out in Sulbha Sutra, the mathematics. First, they offered the construction process and accuracy level suitable for the creation of chitti. Additionally, they also offer approximate values of root 2, of root 3. Each fire altar is made up of layers of bricks that have been artistically and neatly assembled, not only simpler structures but complex ones, such falcons with wings, a chariot wheel with spokes, or a tortoise with extended heads and legs, which were made. The falcon is a majestic bird that can soar to heaven. The wheel, it is a representation of the wheel of life, and the tortoise is a symbol of stability and perseverance in these elegant designs. One of the many significant phrases utilized in Sulbha Sutra geometry that gives the sutras new depth is the word chitti, commonly translated as some sort of altar or platform for rituals, that is Agni, in the Sulbha Sutra. The word is also related to the word or awareness, that is chitti. It's also common to hear the term Vedi, which refers to the land on which the chitti is built. However, because Veda can also refer to pure knowledge or full knowledge, the term Vedi is used to describe a highly enlightened individual. Third, the Purusha is the height of a man with his arms outstretched or 120 degrees angulus in length. However, Purusha is defined as the unevolved witnessing quality of intelligence, the unified, self-referral state of intelligence at the basis of all creativity. Similarly, the term Atma is used for the body of chitti. It is the main part of chitti, excluding wings and tails, which literally means the individual self or the eternal soul. Therefore, the Sulbha Sutra extended function as a description of consciousness that is not hard to infer. There are 10 Sulbha Sutras which are available. So we have the Bodhayana Sulbha Sutra, that is 500 BC, the Apstamba Sulbha Sutra, which is the 400 BC, Hiranyakashan, that is 375 BC, Manav Sulbha Sutra, that is 450 BC, Maitrayana Sulbha Sutra, Varaha Sulbha Sutra, Vadhula Sulbha Sutra, Mashaka Sulbha Sutra, Vekancha Sulbha Sutra, and the Katyayana Sulbha Sutra. Now, the Sulbha Sutras were meant to address the laws pertaining to mathematics and geometry in relation to the measurement of ritual enclosures and the building of various types of altars. Fire altars were of two types, namely the perpetual, that is Nitya, the optional, that was Kamya. And it is interesting to note that optional fires are constructed with different shape, but the covered area remains fixed for each chiti, that is a 7.5 square purusha. For construction of altars, Sulbakaras also prepare bricks of different sizes and shapes to cover a fixed area of 7.5 purusha. It was an arduous task to get the desired shape with just 200 bricks, more or less, in the first construction. In order to do this, they replaced the original brick by half a quarter or 1/8 to fulfill the desired number of bricks of 200 bricks in each layer. Adhya, or the half, that is a brick with the same shape as the half of a rectangle or square cut along its diagonal. The padya, or quarter, is a brick with the same shape as a quarter of a square, and the formation of a udhyayi brick provides a source for the discovery of rational scaling triangle. The eighth part, or the panchami, should be combined, as there will be a brick having three corners. The square bricks, that is the chaturthi, 1/4, panchami, 1/5, sashti, 1/6, and their subdivided bricks were manufactured, and each was named separately, and details of dimensions, both in rational and irrational numbers, was expressed as a simple fraction.